Okay, so we're doing POV on this one. Hopefully the angles are just right. I think they are. I checked it with my other camera. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these rails, these long rails, over to there. I'm going to lay them out, and we're going to put the sides on it and get this base done. That's what I'm hoping to do. So let me start getting these over there. They're a little heavy, so I've got my toolbox here to hold them up while I make my way over here. And I'm not sure how exactly I want to do this yet, but that's one of the base legs, or base extrusions. So I'll get the other one. Okay. Things are a little long. All right. I'll flip these over. All right. Now, this leave is gonna go just like that. I'm gonna go get my leg, or actually all four of them. And these are going to go just like this, like so. And what I think I'll do is lay them down, maybe. I'm not sure the best way to do that. We're going to even with the I don't know, maybe what I'll do is I'll do it over on the table, put the bracket on it. Let me see, maybe we'll do it like that. Let me go grab a bracket, or a few brackets here. I'm gonna drop a couple. Okay, get a bag of screws here. And just get a handful of these nuts. Okay, so, and also I put a piece of foam over the mouthpiece, or the microphone for the GoPro, so you don't hear breath so much. I can't stand that, hearing breathing. It drives me crazy. So what I want to do is I want to make sure. So let's see, that leg goes even with the base. So what you want is you want to have this exactly spaced off of that, like that. So if I put this exactly right there, that'll put it exactly where I want it. So if I do this with that piece, this piece of extrusion, put my T-bolts in there, and then bolt it down right here, that will give me exactly what I need. So when I take it over there, I can just lay it on top and screw it down. So let's do it that way. So what we'll do, and on a lot of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed it up. I'm not going to say I'm going to speed, I'm just going to, through parts that are going to be mundane or repetitive, I'm going to speed it up so it just goes faster. So I'm going to put in four of the T's here. And actually, they're adjustable. So if I put those in there like so, then I can go ahead and put the nuts on them and get them ready. Maybe if everything would cooperate with me here. Okay, there we go. So maybe if I put them on the piece itself, I could slide them down easier. I'm not sure. Oh, really? Yeah, I think I could slide those. So maybe I can put them on beforehand, so I don't have to get my hands down in this little tight area so much. Because I've got quite a few of these to put on, and it's going to take me a minute if I have to fight them like this. So for the next one, let's try to do it. And I need to get a socket on my driver there. Yeah, that's what I need to do. I can already tell that's going to be a... Yeah, okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put these and go ahead and get these set up like this. So what I'll do is I'll do a whole bunch of them, and then that'll speed the process up immensely. And then what I can do is do a bunch of these and just fast forward this. But I'm not sure exactly what everybody would want to see on this blog here. I've got I'm thinking about setting my other computer up, because my other computer actually has the files on it that I use to print out the vinyl, and I don't know if anybody would be interested in seeing that, which was for my gantry sides. So I don't know if anybody would be interested. Not sure how tight I need to make those. So yeah, I'll just sit here and do these, a bunch of these, and hopefully they're in the camera view. I pretty much kind of aimed it before I came down, but I wanted to turn the Wi-Fi off on the camera because it eats up so much of your battery. So I shut the camera off. So, but yeah, this is going to be much faster. So we'll figure out. I don't know if y'all want to see this in real time. Or if you actually want to if you want to see it in real time, or if you want me to speed it up. So yeah, much faster. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I need to find me a wrench, a socket to fit my driver here. Okay, I don't know, I'm overlooking, it was right here in my right there in my tap. So all right, so there's that. Now what I need to do is go over here and find me a it's actually a metric nut. Okay, found me a 14 millimeter. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is put this right here, slide that up tight to it, and then I can tighten up this bracket right here. Now, maybe put them in the middle. So, perfect. Okay, Now we'll do this one the same way. It's awful loud. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So now, what we'll do is we'll put them on here, and then when I put them on over there, they'll be ready to go. So this is going to be a long process. You can tell that already. All right. But it's going to be fun. So, I got 3 more nuts. I need 4, so. Let's see. One more. All right, there we go. So now then, let's take this over here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put that in there. And it's going to butt. Okay. Not easy to do. One-handed. There we go. And then once that's tight, that's done. So let me go get my gun, and we'll tighten that one down and bring this one over. All right. This will probably be about a 5-part video putting this frame together, but that's okay. There we go. Oh, sorry, GoPro. I guess you gotta remember you have it on your head. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I'm not exactly happy with it. Because it's really not tight against that edge right there. And I'm not sure. There we go. I just wasn't holding it. So you gotta hold it. Which, there we go. That's better. There we go. good and tight. All right, I'm gonna put this one over here on, and then I can take those other two and get the brackets on them. What I want to do is after I get these two on, I'll take it upstairs and make sure that I'm actually, yeah, this is the one that's got the leg that got a burr on it. So let's get that fixed, because if I don't, I'm going to end up having to do it while it's on the ground, and I don't want to do that. I think I've got a wrench that works in here for this. Yeah, there's a burr right there, it looks like. Yep. So I think I've got a file in here, and I'll just file that down and hopefully get rid of that burr. I think it's right there. There we go. All right, put that back, put this back in place. No more burr. Now I'll probably take these legs off later on, or these cushions. You know, it's amazing what I notice when you're watching YouTube videos and people talking, is how many mistakes you make talking and you don't even realize it until you're making a video, and then you're like, ugh, did I just say that? Especially when you're watching it after you've made it. It's like, oh my God, how many mistakes you make. But, oh well. All right, so there we go. That's good. Now bring this over here, and we're going to put this one on and turn these in the right direction and slide it in there, hopefully. There we go. Well, yeah, they're both in. So what you have to do is you have to turn these facing long ways. There, they're in. There we go. Now, this is not up high enough, so I'm going to have to hold it like that and just tighten her up. That looks good. Okay. And then I'll go back through and tighten these up. All right, so that's good. Now, what I need to do, these two right here, go down here at this end, but what we'll do is we'll get them on there just like that. And then we will then have these two ready to go. So let me go get the other one. And we can also do these right here, because these mount to those. So really I could have done both sides, or I could do this. So either one. Okay, so that's good. Right here, I need some more brackets and some more screws. May as well get the one I dropped. Got to have an army of people here to. May as well bring the whole bag. The problem is the bag's ripping. It's like an old bag or something. I guess most of this will be done over here. There we go. What I'll probably do is sit here and just put all these together. So if I have them coming toward me, it should slip right in. turn that toward the piece. It slides right in. Oh my Lord, it's working good. So there's that one. Then we need to put this one together. Need to put a whole bunch of them together. There we go. Oh, you know what I just found out? Oh, that's awesome on those. These, I can put together some of these. Oh, okay. Oh, learning something. I believe, look at that. Oh, these will slip through there in the channel, so all I gotta do is worry about the front ones. Those second ones can be put in later on. So that's awesome. So all I gotta do is worry about putting these front ones in. And it gives me a lot more room, makes it a lot quicker. So, love it. Okay. So, just do like that. Now that it's the right way, because you can put 2 angles on these, so I might end up doing that. You could put 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, 1 on the side, I mean. So I'll get these in here. Okay, now what we got to do, figure out a way to hold them up. Okay, get that side. So if I put the side bracket on, it would hold it up better. So all right, now we get this other side on. This is where it all kind of squares itself up. Figure out where it's going. Gotta get in the, there we go. There we go. Not gonna tighten them up yet. Just gonna get it kind of tight. All right, because I can put another one in each corner, and then that'll line it up better. So what I want to do is find the other piece, that other long piece, which is over there, and then we're going to do it a little different. And actually I could have just turned that, I guess. So okay, so let me take these over there, and what we'll do is we'll put them on the bottom. And kind of hard doing all this by yourself. Alright, so get that on there. I thought they sent me way too many T-nuts, but I'm thinking now maybe I don't even have enough, because it's going to be a lot of T-nuts. Let me get 2 of them while I'm here. Put another one together the right way, Mr. Dyslexic person. And get this on there. And if you guys if you like this, what I'm doing here, I hope you do. Like and hit the notification and share my videos, please. It's a new channel. I'm starting out. Need all the help I can get. Nice. Oh, I tell you what, that is sturdy. All right, I'll have to get a cost breakdown of what all this stuff costs too, for you all. So you can see how much I've spent on this whole project. And heck, I may end up selling them. Never know. See, that's too tall, so that side there won't fit in there. That's one of the, so I need to loosen up this. And then what we'll do is we'll put this one on there and bring this one in, and that'll bring it all together. So there it is. Get that to turn, lock in. It'll help hold it in place. There we go. Just want it snug just a little bit. Right there's where I want it. Exactly. Oh, great. There we go. And that pulls it. Perfect. All right. So, what we're going to do is put these in. What I don't like is how loud it is. But I can't really do anything about that. All right, now those are good and solid. Okay, so get the other one done. Whew, going along quicker than I thought it would. So my other one, right here, same thing. Take that, put it in there. Have to get them tight. All right. I get my little piece here. Put it in there. beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to take my other one and put it right there. And do them both at the same time. That's what I think I'll do. Okay, so, and I know this is a long video, and I know it's got a lot of repetitive things on it, but I'm not sure I want to edit out a lot of it. Because a lot of people's never done this kind of stuff. So, it's just one of those things. You may have to fast forward through some of it if you get kind of bored. Because actually I've never done it either. So, alright, we're going to do that to the other side also. And that will... Now what I got to do is go get me some more brackets. I need one more bracket for right now. Oh yeah. My table's happy. So I bought extra brackets. I wanted to make sure that I could really secure this thing down. So, okay, so I want 4 of them. So, all right. I want to turn on some music or some YouTube or something, but the problem is I think I'll end up, if I ever do get monetized, they demonetize me, and that would be terrible. So I guess I could make it really low and maybe wouldn't pick it up, but I'm trying to hurry up here so the video's not boring. And I keep moving through different steps, so I think I'm doing that pretty good. So, I hope anyway. Alright, so there's that one. I'll get this one done. And... So, anyway. Little bit about my background. I, about 11 years ago, or 12 years ago, the Zenith aircraft... which is the manufacturer of a kit plane that you put together yourself. It's all metal. There was some problems with the wings, and I never really thought that there was a problem with the wings. The spars, the spars, for people that don't know airplanes, are what goes through the front of the wing, and actually it's the front. Well, they call it the main spar, and then you have the rear spar. But the front spar of the wing, and the center section that holds that in place, the wings were actually falling off or breaking off of the aircraft in flight, and everybody kept saying that there was a flutter problem, and the company kept denying that there was a flutter problem. I don't know why, but that's there probably for legal reasons more than anything. And it went on to the point that I think 13 people died in the airplane from the wings coming off. So what ended up happening was they came up with a modification after too long. In my opinion, if they would have just come out and said, we don't think that there's a problem, but we're going to do this modification anyway for just safety reasons, I think that they would have been much better off. Not admitting guilt, but changing the design anyway. Now, maybe their lawyers said that wasn't advisable, because even if you change it, you're still could be possibly admitting guilt just by changing it. So anyway, what they did was they came out with a modification after the FAA kind of got into it and was going to ground the whole. Well, I think they did ground them actually, so I ended up doing a lot of these modifications for Zenith, and a lot of that stuff's on my Facebook page, and eventually I'll get the pictures and post them on this YouTube channel. But so anyway, it became a whole big ordeal. But I made, you know, I worked for about 7 or 8 years, and maybe not that long, but I worked for quite a few years doing the modifications for those airplanes, the wing mods. And where I was doing it at was out in Waddy, Kentucky, and I was working under a DAR. And what a DAR is that's a person that gets, I don't know if they're appointed or if they just apply for it or whatever, but it's somebody who's been in aviation for a long time, that they have their licenses. And I think, so anyway, the person that I worked under was an AB DAR, which means a DAR at large. And he could go anywhere in the country and certify an experimental airplane. So that's who pretty much taught me everything about airplanes. And he passed away, and when he passed away, I didn't have anywhere to work, so I kind of got out of the airplanes for a while. And a buddy called me up, and his buddy is a buddy now, but wasn't. I didn't know who it was. Called me up and said that he wanted me to help him finish his airplane. He had bought a kit, and like everybody else, he just wanted some help. And so we ended up, long story short, we ended up getting him an airplane. And the airplane that I got him, we fixed it all up, and it's a nice little airplane. And him and another guy decided to work on that airplane. And the guy that was working on it, both of them really shouldn't have really been doing what they were doing. They were working on it. So they ended up flying to Oshkosh for the air show. And what ended up happening was that they ended up crashing and killed both of them. They had worked on the coils for the engine and weren't qualified to work on them. So what happened was there's an airplane engine has 2 coils. They have mags, but this airplane had 2 coils, actual coils, just like a regular engine. And so what happened was they were flying, and they were working on it before they were going to Oshkosh, and I didn't know about it because I wouldn't have let them go. But they were working on it, and so what ended up happening was he messed up one of the coils. He was putting a hotter coil on it so it would start better in the wintertime from the manufacturer. Well, they were working on it, and they got it messed up, didn't know what they were doing, and ended up cracking the distributor cap on one of the coils. So it's a redundant system. So you have 2 coils, two set of spark plug wires, two sets of spark plugs, one on top, one on the bottom of the cylinder. So they cracked the distributor cap on one of the coils, which was the factory coil. I don't understand how they would have even taken off with that in that situation. They seem like they would have known that when they did their run-up. Which a run-up is when you take your airplane, you take it to the end of before you get on the runway, and you go through a systems check. Run the engine up, check the coils, switch over left and right, because it's redundant. So anyway, I don't know how they didn't notice that they had loss of power in one of the coils, but they didn't. So anyway, they started flying to Oshkosh, and the other coil that he had put in it was from like a lawnmower, which is perfectly okay because experimental, you can do whatever you want. But what happened was the coil that they put in it, the engines are prone to getting hot. So the coils were failing because of heat, and even the factory coils, come to find out later on, would fail. A bunch of them would fail the inspections when they were brand new because they just they couldn't hold up to the heat. So anyway, so the coil was working fine that they put in from the lawnmower shop. And what happened was when they landed for fuel, what happens is when you land an airplane and you don't open the cowling up, which 99% of the time you don't, you just check the oil. So what happened was that coil got heat soaked. And when it got heat soaked, it basically got hot, and it got too hot. So when they did their run up again before they left, which they should have, which I don't probably think he did, ended up that the coil that was the lawnmower coil failed in the air. So when that failed, the other coil should have been fine. It should have been able to fly on one coil. With one coil failing, the other coil should have took its place, and they should have been just fine. But what ended up happening was, because they cracked the distributor cap, the coil that was from the lawnmower shop, it failed because it got too hot when it heat soaked, and it started failing when they were flying. Well, when that one failed, then the second one, because you run on both of them all the time, so the second one, it couldn't do anything because the distributor cap was broke. So basically the engine died. When the engine died, which shouldn't have been a problem, should have flown, landed right into a field, and everything would have been fine. But what happened was, he was trying to make it to an airport because he didn't want to tear up his airplane, which is another problem that happens. And so what ended up happening was, he got too slow. When you get too slow, one of the wings stalls out, and it stalled out on him, and they just basically spun into the ground. I don't know how high they were. I'd say they were 2,000 feet, 1,500 feet, and at that altitude you can't do anything. So what he should have done was found a field, kept the nose pointed straight to the field, lowered the nose, kept the airspeed up, and landed the airplane. If he tears it up, he tears it up. He can fix it. So ended up killing him and the passenger that was with him. And the passenger actually worked on the airplane too. So and he had just gotten into aviation. He was just, he was just really kind of gung-ho about flying, and they both ended up dying. And what we call in aviation, it's called get there-itis. You want to get there, so you ignore the dangers, you don't follow safety protocols, and you end up not getting there because you end up dying. And that's what happened to them. I didn't even know they were going, because had he told me, had I known they were going, I would have said no. Because what should have happened was, after they did those repairs, he should have flown that airplane around the airport for at least a day, around in circles above the airport. That way, if the airplane had any problems, they could have just glided down to the runway, and they'd have been able to fix them. So we just have a series of, hang on one second. Series of things that happened that set off a chain of events, and they ended up dying. And I wish I'd have known they were working on the airplane, because I'd have went out there and stopped them from going. I mean, I was the one who always worked on the airplane. But this time they just wanted to do it themselves, I guess. And so I don't know. So when he passed away, I kind of got out of working on airplanes for a while, but kind of getting back into it now. And we'll see what happens, see where it goes. But this is what this is all for, to build a CNC to make airplane parts. There's wing skin right there I made from scratch. Well, I want that to be done on the CNC. So I made that firewall for the airplane, made this from scratch, and that can be cut out on the CNC. All the floor, all the pans in there were remade from torn up parts that when the airplane crashed, this is another airplane. So I'm fixing this airplane. So this right here, this is the skin right here with all the holes and tore up pieces. This is the skin that is this skin. It's the same skin. So it was made, all this stuff I fabricated. All these channels, all this has been fabricated. I fabricated them, made the brackets. So that's why I've got the bending brake. to make all them parts. So that's what all these lathes and mills and everything's for, is to make all these parts. So that's what I'm doing. So let's get back to this. Once I get the bottom piece on, that's it. The bottom's done. It's be time to start putting the I got to put 2 side uprights on, and then our four side uprights, and then we start putting the top pieces on, which are right here. It's like the sides. So anyway, let's get this done, and then I will have to turn this off and go upload these videos, because I'm probably running out of video. And I hope I'm recording. That's the only thing I don't like about not knowing if you're recording. But I haven't heard it beep, so I guess I'm recording. I hope I'm recording. All that was for nothing if I wasn't. So anyway, maybe try to tell some stories while we're working. Make it interesting. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay. Well, okay, that ain't gonna work so good. What you really need is a little help. Try to get one side done and maybe the other side. I don't know. There we go. Because this, I know I can push this out a little bit. There we go. There we go. All right. Thank goodness they put them little slots in there to hold these in place. Oh, look at that. Okay, it's holding itself up. Now we get this one on. I gotta put these in, or I'll be in trouble. I wonder how heavy this thing is when I'm done with it. I wonder how heavy it is now. Oh, looky there. All right, let me go get my gun. We tighten her up. Lose track on what's tight, what's not tight. Oh yeah, I love it when a plan comes together. Yeah, I saw that one. Battery's going dead. All right, there we go. So what I'll do, let me charge this battery and I will come back.